Hello, today I'm going to show you how to install RSS Reborn. So the first thing we want to do is install RP1 Express Install. I already have it installed, or cached at least, so this shouldn't take that long. However, for those people that don't have it installed, this will take a long time. Okay, so this is going to take a while, so while that is happening, I'm going to now go ahead and talk about the next part of the installation while this is happening. Because this can take between about 10 to 30 minutes depending on how fast your computer is at downloading it and stuff like that, but yeah, this is going to take a while. And keep in mind that these are basically already cached, so this is just writing into my own file system. The first thing that we need is the stock volumetric clouds. Go ahead and get that. Support BlackRack if you haven't, and once you're done with that, what we're going to take is we're going to take the BlackRack ToughX config, and we're also going to take the scatter and environmental visual enhancements. These are the three files that we're going to keep. The rest, not so much, but for now, we're going to have these three. Okay, so now that that's out of the way, the next thing is downloads. So we're going to have a lot of downloads that we're going to be doing here for this installation. Alright, so there are a bunch of links here. We're going to go ahead and install the following: the Ballistic Fox Copernicus fork, Eve, RSS configs, blah 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 blah. Okay, so this is the Google Docs. I'm probably going to also put it in the description, but the Discord link has this. Just go ahead and ask, someone will give it to you. Anyways, so yeah, we just installed this. We're going to remove this later because, again, it's still installing. And what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and scroll all the way down to the second page. So the second page has a bunch of links. You want to install the RSS configs. If you don't want parallax, install this one. But I'm going to install parallax because I can. Install this one, some random Earth textures, moon textures, Mars, Phobos, Deimos, you know the rest. Install all of them, and once you are done, and also only choose one of them, right? Once you are done, this is how your downloads folder will look like. So I'll show you, because the inner system, as you can see, the inner system pack is over here. Luna, which is the moon, is here. Earth is here. Mars is here. Jovian system is over here. The Saturnian system, Uranian system, Neptunian, and I'm just cross-referencing to make sure that I've downloaded everything. Kuiper belt, and I also have a few extra: Copernicus, parallax, RSS configs, and all these other things. So the reason why I have these files is because, for one, inside the instructions over here, we want to get a few other files, right? There's the Copernicus fork, so that explains the Copernicus. There is also parallax that you're going to have to install, and this is based off this document. So the parallax version that you're going to be installing is parallax 2, which is, again, like I said, I'm using parallax. You don't really need parallax, but this is the parallax version that I'm using, and I've downloaded this specific link. So if I click on it, I'm not going to download it because I already have it. So that explains this parallax. The RSS configs, that is this file right over here, RSS configs, and that explains that. The RSS terrain, so there are terrains on the bottom over here. Parallax 4K, again, I chose parallax, so that's why I have this. And there is RSS VE configs and RSS VE textures. Here, RSS VE configs and RSS VE textures. So that explains these last two. Alright, so now that we have all of these files, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and make a for loop. So there, I'm using a fish here. You might be using Windows. For Windows, you would just right click and extract using 7-zip. The instructions are here. You can go ahead and do it. But for Linux, this is how you would do it. So for f in ls, we would do 7zx $f and end. So yeah, I'm actually using fish instead of bash. This is how you would do it in fish. But I'm just going to go ahead and cancel out of here. But if we were to use bash instead, what we would do is for f in $ls, and we would type in do 7zx $f, done. And yeah, it'll basically do the same thing. And I'm just going to leave it at bash just because I think a lot more people are using bash or some POSIX compliant shell rather than using fish. I just use fish because I'm lazy. Anyways, while this is happening, we're going to go back in here. Okay, look at that. It has finished because my computer is quite quick. So again, we're going to go back up here, and we're going to go ahead and look at these specific things over here. These are the files, or rather folders, that we're going to have to remove off our main game data. Again, so this is my instance, my instance was RO, so that is my RO instance, and I'm going to go ahead and start deleting it. This is my workspace. This is just where I had the black rack configurations and stuff. I'm going to keep that here for now. I'm going to have that later, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to go in here. I'm going to copy this directory inside a second terminal, or in Windows you can have a second file explorer. I typically like to do stuff in the terminal, so here I am. And I have, as you can see, all of these folders / directories, whatever you want to call them. And I'm going to go ahead and delete these specific folders. So I'm going to go ahead and copy that. RM. Yeah. So there we go. And if we ls, you can see that all of those directories are gone. All right, now, while that is happening, I'm also going to go ahead and go into this. Right, so I did mention that we needed only these 3 files. I'm going to go ahead and speed things up by copying these files into our game data that is currently being unpacked. The parallax that is in here for some reason should also be inside game data. So I'm going to go ahead and toss that in. And as a nice little comparison, you also have this little picture over here that will tell you if you did everything correctly, which hopefully if you were following this instruction, you probably did. And over here, it looks like we have finished decompressing everything. So we have Harmony, Environmental, Copernicus, Modular, Parallax, RSS configs, RSS terrain, textures, configs, textures, scatter, BlackRock's ToughX config, the module manager, and the license. So looks like we have all of that. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to move this file. Okay, so now that we have everything in here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and launch KSP RO. Alright, I'm back. So it seems that I've went a little bit AFK and the game has loaded without me. But anyways, I digress. As you can see the Earth on the right with all of its beautiful clouds and the Kerbals floating about in space. So welcome aboard to Realistic Progression. I hope that install process helped, and let me know if it helped by liking, subscribing, and probably commenting. Anyways, see you in the next one.